Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, And this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul. And we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello and welcome everyone to the 337th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, July 30th, 2024. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be host once again in this weekly series of ongoing workshops with members and support members of the Universal Council. And I believe we're ready to begin today's workshop. So without further ado, let me get that set up and ready to go.
Yes, thank you very much, Rick. We, the Universal Council, welcome you all, dear souls, in, on, and beyond our cool spaceship called Earth. It's me, Jacko, Universal Council member and representative of the Dutch language. And today I would like to start again with a part of the Plasma Times from January 2019. We came towards one direction. We came towards in the unification of the soul of the man, that we are all together unified as one soul. Collectively, we make the soul of the Creator, and each one of us has a position in that structure of the life of the universe. We appear in different shapes or forms as planets, humans, animals, other creatures in the universe, but in all, we are part of that body. We are as the energy of the cell of the heart. And then as the cycle of life, the cell finishes, we become another part of the cell of the liver, or we move to another dimension outside the body of the man. But we still exist, nothing ever diminishes. The conservation of the unified field theory confirms the existence of the life of the Creator and not the man. And this is a very important point for us to understand. It's time for change, to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. And from the UC Charter, the soul brings all beings into peace with the bond of love, trust, understanding, and compassion. All beings possess a soul, and the soul always seeks balance. The soul is loving and gives unconditionally. The soul is forgiving and records in its strength all events. The soul has the highest order of strength beyond all else and is everlasting according to the total spectrum of souls in the unicos. And through experiencing all, the soul is aware of itself as the source of all that is good for itself and for all others. The soul is omniscient. So now it's me. If only souls would understand this. It is the reason why I repeat this part for all of us to really understand. Unconditional is a word we use quite often. And it really means without any condition. As soon as we put a condition on it, it's no more unconditionally. Are you aware of the impact no condition has? It's not so easy to switch off all those prejudices we followed for many, many generations. Still, it will not work as long as we stick to it. How often the father tells the children how bad these groups of people, this country or this neighbor is. With it, the hate or misunderstanding continues. And we see, if we look around, what mayhem this brings. On the other hand, if we reach the dimension of unconditional, a lot of stones are taken out of our backpack, and life becomes much more wearable, guaranteed. If we understand what was written before, that we are unified in one soul, that we are all part of that same body, the same galaxy, then how could we ever judge anyone without the certainty to be judged ourselves? We change the world. We start with ourselves, in ourselves, in our own galaxy. Do it with love. Don't doubt a second. If we give love, we multiply love and add it to totality. If enough do the same, we flood this planet with our unconditional love. Thank you, dear souls, in this moment, time, and position. Together, we will bring the change. In the love of the Creator, in creation. Thank we as one. So we can go to the next slide, please.
Hello, everyone. Andrea is speaking, support member from the German community. Now we have our weekly wishes with a lot of power and try to feel the field strength of the emotions. We, the Universal Council team, wish that the knowledge seekers understand it gives no need to read how ants and worms colonize or live. You can transmute into that dimension. Our wish is our command.
We are present.
Please support and use the new Wellness Trinity System Ganses, which connect the soul of the man to the soul of creation of the man to go through the fields of transmutation.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council and Universal Council support, wish that every child in the world receives full nourishment for his healthy growing bodies, minds, and souls.
We are present.
We sorry.
We wish you a happy birthday, Mr. Keshe, and thank you for all sharing of knowledge you have done. The knowledge is freedom. A wish is your correct.
We are present. We, the Universal Council, wish to elevate the souls of beings, those who don't understand peace, and blocking the path of peace, love, and light for all souls in existence. Peace for them is forever. Now, so it is. My wish is my command. I am present.
We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to support the process of the new KF YouTube channels for the benefit of all.
Present.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to support all knowledge seekers in learning, understanding, and spreading the new processes and the knowledge of creation.
We are present.
Present.
We, the Universal Council, wish to elevate the soul of man to be in peace within the soul of physicality, being in line with the soul of man that creates the connection in man with the soul of the Creator in the beauty of creation.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, wish the souls to elevate in the moment as wishes to be done.
we are present.
Okay, next we have the video Learn to Pray Through Your Soul. And we'll be listening to the last part from 12 minutes on. As we listen to the previous parts in the last two workshops. Okay, let me make sure that's shared. Okay, here we go.
All of you under any name of company or whatever you work on there. Is not building a reactor to match the soul of these people, to affect them. Their souls has to receive so much that by saturated has no choice but to find a position to become part of. And because all of us, we have a mother gene connection, we can reach these people very easily through our souls. If we punish the Rothschilds or the people who finance these kind of wars for over years, because the war makes money by selling the arms and then by development afterwards, there'll be no guns left and there'll be no names left to be, what do you call it, proud of what they do. There is a reason we are here in Italy. We sit not very far from the house of Christ, and we closest sit to the biggest arm manufacturing factory in the world. Every time I go to Brescia, I feel death. I feel the clunk of how much death is planned in this city, and I pray for the soul of the people, and one day these workers will not go to work to make guns. Sometimes I think what happens if the material now they're using here, all the carbons and all the other things to make the guns and all the ammunition they're planning and they're building here within kilometers from here, can be used to make gases to feed the rest of the world and make systems that we can fly out of this place. What is about to come to it? There is 40% unemployment in Italy. 40% between the age of 18 and 35. How can we put so many people back to useful contribution to the community and humanity? Not by guns. Not by killing. I hear a lot of people saying it's their program to kill as many people as they can kill, to feel power. They enjoy torturing and killing. You have to give enough to the soul that that habit of man disappears. Devil doesn't exist except within the man himself, when he cannot accept the work of his own physicality in response and parallel to his emotions and his soul. Let us learn to pray by giving freely from our soul, that we elevate them. The Rothschilds and the people who finance these wars for centuries need a lot of it, because it's become their habit. They don't see how low they are. They become so low in their soul level that to them, that's the only position they know. Let us share our souls with the Pope and with all the religious leaders, that through them will find through their soul to the soul of their, what we call Commander-in-Chief, which is the Christ, blessed his name, and Muhammad, blessed his soul, and Moses, God's name be on him. That there follows through their name, they'll find peace and balance. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you,
And I hope you enjoy life.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
Thank you very much. See you next Thursday.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye.
Okay, that'll be the end of the 23rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Thank you everybody for attending, and especially all the folks on live stream. Had lots of questions tonight. It was good. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rick, from you too.
Okay, that was our Learn How to Pray video, a completion of that. And now we'll go back to our workshop. We have Soul Connection with Andrea.
Yes, right, correct. Yes, I invite you to our soul connection. Relax your body. Take a deep breath and exhale. And now try to feel all the cosmic rays around you. In every cell of your body. Maybe you see colors, or you feel emotions. And now go to your soul of physicality and to your soul in the brain. And each one is a golden sphere. Try to feel both together. Try to feel how they interact together. Feel the emotions. And maybe you have any needs or wishes. Try to feel the field strength. Now, please come slowly back in this moment. Thank you.
And if you enjoyed this process that we just went through, the Universal Council invites the Keshe family and the Universal
family and unifying at the soul level every day at 9 p.m. Central European Time. I think reviewing this Knowledge Seekers Workshop number 23, the last 20 minutes or so of it will give you a lot of insight and a lot of understanding how really change is created through energies and not so much through the matter state. President Kennedy was quite famous in the United States, and he had a saying, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." How about if we change that to what we can do for this planet while we're here in the matter state, not so much what the planet can do for us? We often ask ourselves how we can change the conditions on this planet. And we realize that we can become active and we can become interactive with these energies that we possess, but we were not fully aware of them. As Jacko said, it's time for change to move into the real work of the universe, as I understand it, which is servitude. So the UC is asking humanity as a collective to join us in this process. We're using these clusters of stars or energies to bring the change through their intentions and through their emotions. And now that you're aware of your capabilities, you're responsible for it in so many ways. I think we've heard Mr. Keshe say this a number of times. There was a scientist, or I heard someone talking about scientific experiments where they had a polluted lake in Japan. And they took a group of people, and just by using their intentions, they were able to reduce the pollution in this lake by about 20%. And this was some sort of scientific experiment. Again, I didn't research it and check it out, but it's probably somewhere there. Again, using their intentions, their emotions, their energies to bring the change. And again, this sounds quite odd in so many ways. We thought we had to bring in systems and so on. Then there was another scientist, I think it was Edward Teller, and he worked on some nuclear, maybe he was a nuclear physicist. Again, I just had heard these stories, but he had taken some water and he had put it in what's known as a Faraday cage, meaning blocking all sorts of energies that could possibly affect it. And he shipped it to Princeton, I think, University in New Jersey, I believe. And then he took a number of people in California and asked them through their intentions, if they could change the pH of the water in this Faraday cage across the country. And apparently that test was successful, that they used their energies to bring about a change in the matter state. So now you can become active and interactive in this whole process, realizing, in a way we have 2 feet, one in the matter state, maybe a big foot in the matter state and a smaller pinky toe in the energy dimension, but I think we actually operate pretty much in both dimensions, even though we're not aware of it. So this is what we're asking you to do, to use your energies, not so much the matter state, but using the energies to elevate and to bring the change about. This is what the Universal Council is learning, and you can learn along with us. And as I said, now that you've become aware of your capabilities, you're actually responsible for it. So every day at 9 p.m., whether you can be there for a nanosecond or for a minute, again, you can be multitasking because your physicality is really not involved in this process. And of course, this will allow you to collectively, us, to bring this change, and you can be proud of the work you do on this dimension. Open up a new dimension to yourself as well, and you can be proud of the person you are because you're actually affecting change on this planet and through the elevation of souls and serving others. And you'll be proud of the difference you're making on a daily basis. So again, join us regularly, often, and it doesn't have to be just once a day. It can be anytime or all the time. As Mr. Keshe said, these souls are so low that they don't know any other position. So this is a test for humanity to try and reach souls in need. And of course, there's other methods we're using, spraying the GANS waters, and perhaps even breathing, using our own reactors by changing the amount of liters that go through your lungs every day to an elevated position. And then, of course, collectively joining together, which is probably the most powerful way of doing this. As Mr. Keshe said, the reason we do it collectively is because we're much stronger. Each one of us contains so many different fields, and by putting them together, maybe one of those fields or combination of those fields will be able to touch, in a way, the soul of these people who don't know any other position. So let's work together on a daily basis. Again, this is an informal meeting on the energy level, but it's up to you to decide. And of course, you're learning about your own structure at the same time of this energy dimension that we're not so familiar with, and then the matter state dimension, which we are quite expert in. So join us every day, 9 p.m. Central European time. Calculate your time whenever that is. And again, whether it's for a nanosecond, a minute, 5 minutes, whatever you choose. And then you can extend this process. And of course, this will work in so many other applications as well, within your family, within your work environment, within your neighborhood. I think we can make a huge difference as we reach this. As Jacko said, it's time for change to move into the real work of this universe. And this is the real work of the universe in the energy dimension. So I think that's it, unless someone else has something they'd like to add to this. But this is a daily process that continues. And it may take a long time, but it may take a short time as well. It's almost like if I was bare feet and somehow I had to walk home for 20 miles, and I'll say, gee, this is going to take me several days when you examine it. But then all of a sudden a car or a truck comes by and gives me a lift, and I'm home within a few hours or a couple hours or whatever it is. So this is even though it looks far and it looks out of reach, I think it's much, much closer than any of us could imagine. And as we reach that collective awareness, the positions of these souls, or their physicality, let's say, will change. So thank you all, and be proud of the difference you're making on a daily basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. It's Dean here. I'd just like to add a few words that come to my being, to my soul, come from my soul. So you touched on a few things there. It's like when we reach out, it's always been there. It's always been available to us. And so through the wonderful teachings and the understanding that we're experiencing now in this moment, we understand, and we've understood, that we can be present and we can breathe in this moment, experience the others. Breathe in, give from your soul, exhale out, and give from your soul for the others to receive. When you do it on a soul level, you are reaching out, you are touching the other souls, not in the physical form, in a plasmatic condition, on a soul level. So we are coming to understand, we've understood in this moment, that we have this ability, this beauty in this moment. And when we start to use that, that knowledge, and as was spoken earlier, knowledge is freedom. So the freedom of the soul is unlimited. And if you connect with the other souls, like the Foundation, the Universal Council are doing, at 9 p.m. every day, and you can do this in any moment, then you can connect your soul and be the change in this moment. Thank you, Mark, for your beautiful words.
Thank you, Dean, for complimenting me and adding to the knowledge.
Okay, next we have an extract from the 425th Knowledge Seekers Workshop from back in March 24th, 2022. And this will be from the around the 25-minute mark up to about the 41-minute mark. So we'll be listening to about 16 minutes of this. Okay, I'll start that. Get that lined up here. Okay, here we go.
Where do we mature to? What do we mature to? To understand, to recognize the presence of the hidden one, the presence of what was promised, shall bring the end of all the hardships and the war. As usual, man looks outside nationalistic war, wars of aggression of religions. But in fact, the war and the war is the war of the man within himself. The war to live the conflict of two lives, of the physical life and the life of the soul. That's the war which the promised one is to accomplish and to complete, for man to understand he is the man, is the soul of the man that has to come to an end within the walls of within the structure of the physicality of the man. The teaching of past few years has brought you to that point, leads you to that condition, brings you to understand the position of the physicality and separation of the physicality from the soul of it. But in fact, the messengers, the Mehdi, is you within your soul. No one can teach you unless you find it yourself. I can take you to the water like the horse. If you are not prepared to drink, nothing can be done. The thirst has to come within. The thirst of understanding the truth has to come within. The teachings of the Keshe Foundation, as we are the messengers of the universe within the physicality of body of the man, is very simple. You, up to now, understood that you do good, you give whatever you call to the church, you do good deeds to elevate your soul, that you will receive something that then you live a better life. But in fact, the teaching of the Keshe Foundation is totally different. You're happy with the good doings on this planet. The teaching of the Keshe Foundation is to extend the soul to do the good things outside the physicality of the body of man, in the dimension of the fields of the creation, in the dimension of the fields of the universe. You are happy to give some money to a beggar. You are happy to build a church for the religion. You were happy to give a pair of shoes to a man who doesn't, and you were so proud you did so good. But now we have allowed you to extend this beyond the physicality of the man. If you're happy that you receive elevation by giving a pair of shoes or some money in the bucket when you went to the church or the mosque, that you receive elevation and what you want, now with a new understanding, the universe is your oyster. What would you like to give to universe, to universal community? And then you understand what shall be received by your soul. That your soul, you were happy to be a shopkeeper. Now you are the king of your own soul. Now you become the warehouse man, because now you have access to give more to the universal community, if this is the way you think. In a way, you are happy with the crumbs of the elevation of your soul in the dimension of physicality. With these teachings, we show you the way to be generous and to be the giver in the dimension of the universe. In a way, soul of the man in a dimension of physicality, once learns the teaching, understands the process of the creation, now connects to the other souls of the universe and unicos. And within a flick of a finger, you become from a small soul within the center of the brain of the man to a star, to another universe. So simple. You were looking for crumbs. I do good that something might happen good to me. Now, with the extension of the soul of the man beyond the boundary of the physicality, which is part of the teaching, now you can extend this giving, if it's truly within you, to become a star within an instant. You shine, you connect, and with it, you lead to the creation of the new cycle. Isn't this what we said in the enhancement unit? That some of you, once you go in, we see only the light, which means the boundary of the physicality is past, and now you become that shining star. You become that giver to give. When you're a star, when you shine, you're a giver, even though at the same time you receive. So we understand with the new teaching, an understanding of totality, one man can become a star once he understands there is no limitation in the fields of the universe, and in a way bypasses or superpasses the dimension of the soul of physicality. You become like that car with what we call a flashlight in the front. You become the source, and you become the driver of that flashlight. You become the source, what to shine, and then your job is find a flashlight which shines 360 degrees unconditionally in all directions. The elevation of the soul of the man was not the whole purpose of you being able to go beyond your physicality, get in touch with the uncle and get in touch with the cousin or go somewhere. The whole purpose of the teaching in elevation of the soul of the man has been to make that shining star from within the soul of the man, within the physicality of the man, to become instantaneously a star, to shine upon all the same. This is what we said in a hidden way about the soul of the devoted Universal Council members, that once they get to that point, they shine. They don't need to show their physicality. Now you understand how the truth unravels itself. Then you understand that the teachings of past 424 teachings has been to bring you to the teaching of today. That every soul can become a star. Is not just to extend beyond the dimension of physicality. You can still hold on to that physicality, because that physicality is where the center of the sun has been kept together. It's the seed is dimension of the existence, is the dimension of the creation of that soul. So we come to one point. Where do you see your soul? Do you want to be in the dimension of putting a coin in a bucket of a beggar and think you've done good and you receive elevation because you gave? Do you want to be the guy who gives his shoes and thinks, I have an extra pair, at least he can walk and I'll receive more because I gave? Or are you those who build churches, pays for building places for the worship of the fallacy of the brain of the man, and think I build a church, I'll guarantee myself a place in heaven? The heaven exists within the understanding of the man himself, and the hell is man is ignorant to the truth. The purpose of the teachings has been to bring you to that point, to show you if you are happy to live in a village, now we give you the universe. But in the dimension of universe, you have to have the capability to live with it. You have to understand the process of it. You have to be there, not to go through university, but to understand the truth. In so many ways. What I've said very recently, if the province of Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran and the Islamic world and the other religions is that this year will be the year of manifestation of Mehdi, is how many of you are going to be that Mehdi for your own soul? That you start the new generation of the cycle of life in a correct way. Mehdi by name, Mehdi by living, Mehdi by conducting the correct way to understand. Not to be crying that I lost something, where what I lost has become the step for the progress of the others. Be proud in your loss has become the gain of the others. Mankind soon will cry to understand more. But in a way, we have paved the path for you to understand. We brought you to the point to understand that what is promised to be is not a Mehdi as a person, but is a Mehdi as a totality of the soul of the mankind and the planet Earth and its citizens, to understand the truth about the creation and about what we call the precious value of their soul. Then you understand why the teaching has taken so long. We are preparing you to create the soul of Mehdi as a collective soul of the creation created on this planet. Of the new life, new generation, new position in the universe as a new unicos, where physicality has no dimension, where the understanding of the process of the creation of what we call interaction of the fields to lead to a perfect life becomes the essence of the creation. We are messengers. We know how to deliver the message, and we know how to guide people to understand the message. It's no use when I deliver a letter to you and you only need German and it's in English. It has no meaning unless I can translate that to the German that you understand. Then, even when I translate, to be able to carry the essence of the emotion of that letter, that you get the full feeling of it, not just reading like a computer with no emotion. Mankind has to understand the emotion of what is going to happen, what is going to be the essence of the creation in the next cycle, not only of its own. It's like soul of the man from now on, it's like that little bulb you see in a football stadium in a floodlight. On its own, still shines, but collectively will flood the field. The soul of the humanity, the soul of the created things on this planet has to become that floodlight, that become that star, that process of the creation where the man moves from individuality to the collective awareness of the essence of the creation as one. The soul of Mehdi is the soul of the created on this planet. When the mankind, when the created things understand to go through the process, needs to understanding of the totality. Which one of you would like to be the first bulb in that floodlight? Which one of you has managed to understand the truth about the process of the creation? And then we understand the year of Mehdi is upon us because we have received the teaching. We've been guided to understand the essence of the soul of the Creator within us, amongst us, and to understand collectively we become that Mehdi. It cannot be one anymore to be put on a cross and be crucified. It cannot be one that it can be put on the wall and fired out to be destroyed and to be killed, that it might stop the message of the Creator. The messengers of the Creator are those who give their souls for the others to elevate, not their physicality. In truth, mankind has become that torch, not only for himself, it becomes that what we call floodlight that enlightens the rest of the soul of the created things on this planet, and collectively the mankind elevates to the position of creation of the new universe. Now, maybe you understand what is the purpose of our work, what is the purpose of creating such a position. Every universe in the universe, universe has been created the same way, out of the collective soul of the created, which they reach the point of maturity at the same time in the same position, the day of promise. The promise day is when the whole of the soul of the created reach the understanding of totality and needs one to shine for the others to come on. You become that first candle that starts the fire, and you become that single candle which lights the rest of the candles in the church and in the mosque, and in a way to light up the whole stadium. This time, the stadium is the unicos, and the soul of the man is that bulb, is that point that matches with the others to become the same. When you look at a floodlight, you can't see one light from the other. They all shine collectively as one. And this is the beauty of the teachings of today, that man understands that the promise of the Mehdi is upon us, but not the way, again, the world of religion has seen it in the dimension of physicality. The totality of the maturity of the soul of the man on this planet is a promised day. In a way that we as one, we become we as all.
Okay, that completes the excerpt from the 425th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Next, we have the reading of our last Knowledge Seekers Workshop.
Thank you, Rick. Starting the reading from extract from 548 Knowledge Seeker Workshop. Many of you, I'm sure, have heard about Beam Me Up, Scotty, where a man is transmitted from or transferred from ship to the place destination. It's not a beam me up, Scotty. It's transmute my soul. That transmute my soul. That my physicality take the shape of, and the position of the place and time. Transmutation is not for man from earth to go anywhere. If you are in position in the universe, could be on a craft, could be on any system of transmutation and transportation. You want to transmute to a position, The teaching, the knowledge is there for it to be done. Transmutation is not for man today to go from A to B on earth. You are on a planet, you are in a ship, you are on a position that you decide instead of going physically, I transfer. There is a lot of advantage of the spaceship to transmute. You don't need to enter the atmospheric condition. You don't need to risk to go through all sorts of hassles of landing. You transfer it to the limitation of the physicality, of the dimension, of the position, of the place, which means you stay outside the Earth's atmosphere and then you transmute. But the knowledge of the man has reached a point that you don't need to transmute a person. As I said many times, many lessons, teachings before, when you make a cup as a soul has a soul. You can transmute vehicles, you can transmute systems, the landing and shuttling in the dimension of present physical understanding. And that's why we make movies about it. We talk about it that way because we have never had a comprehension that we can transmute anything at any time. And how we can, in Iran, we show you the flight system, physical, of course, transfer. Hopefully, by that time, we request from American government to allow the landing of the ship from Iran in New York or Washington, most probably with American passengers. At the same time, later on in 2025, when we manifest ourselves, when we be present in Washington, we will bring the position of the transmutation this into play, transfer and transmutation. In the second part of today's teaching, I will open a wonderful news to you and is the back of the knowledge seekers, how you support it and how you bring it to be. But understanding the totality, understanding how we can transfer, transmute as we like. This is the key and success to a permanent travel. Permanent travel, residence in the space for man or any other living entity in the universe, where you cannot manifest yourself in a dimension of your physicality. You take the shape of the position. Thank you.
You're a man. You fall in the sea, in the ocean, and you die because you have not learned to switch to transmutation and transmute yourself to a fish. You don't need to go other points of the universe to learn this. You are a man. You want to go into the depth of the earth to find out how it works. You don't need to read how ants and worms colonize or live. You transmute into that dimension. Many of you in the last week on Friday tried many dimensions, from the tree to stone. Some of you transmuted and transferred into a fish. Some of you felt different times and positions. So now it's becoming a known for you. You understand you have the capability, and gradually in the coming months before Iran conference, will bring into position that transportation, transmutation will start becoming part of your life before we arrive in Iran. The new age of this new science has arrived, and we want the knowledge seekers to be part of it. If you remember in 2014, 2015, when we did the Tesla 129, we left it open for you. Everybody else to come in to see, to watch, to monitor. People from Western Europe handed over to the Eastern. The Americans took over when it was nighttime. And then the other side, the Chinese, monitored And we went round the clock 24 hours a day as the numbers build up. As we've achieved to show the power of the plasma magnetic field in motion, energy is not dependent on matter state, but it depends how you play with the fields of the universe. Matter state has a limitation. Matter state has a condition that it cannot surpass. It's a condition of environment. In the matter state inertia, many of you've seen this. Who did the test? Many of you who did what we call the dynamic systems. Observe, after certain speed, certain field creation, the motor stops. But whatever you do with it, doesn't start, doesn't need to, it's not burned, it's there. But the plasma saturation, field of the soul of the system has taken over physicality. That's why it cannot operate, because it goes through the soul of the matter state of every element in that motor. You have seen the power of plasma, many of you who did many tests, in how the matter state does not count anymore, because the plasma energy dimension of the fields of the universe is much stronger than the matter state. Because in the stepping down in the strength, in the inner shells, this is what you receive. I've explained this many times in the teachings. You get an onion, a very big onion, and start taking layers by layers off. You see the outer layer is much softer. It's not so firm. You can easily break into. Thank you.
The next layer slightly tighter until you go to the center, where the field strength is tight, the structure is very tight and very small. When you look at a plasma, you look at a structure of such a thing. The center is tighter, harder, and in the plasma dimension, much stronger and much strength. The outer layers are much looser. They have grown up into a universe. The layers underneath are different galaxies, different layers of it, and different construction of it. When man becomes wise to the knowledge of the creation, to the science of understanding the operation of the energy, he will see something which he has never seen before. And today, cosmologists don't even understand this. They see it, but they don't understand it. The universe of the man is like an atom. It has a single structure, neutron in the middle, or a proton, you call it, which is amalgamation of many energy fields. And according to that structure in the center, in the atomic structure, we call it the rings. You have different electrons on different rings, and number of electrons in different orbits. The structure of the universe, the structure of the unicos, the structure of the whole totality of life in the universe cannot be any different. So when we look at the structure of the universe, our universe, for example, we see a central seed. We see a proton. We see amalgamation of fields which make that central line. And with it, the structure is the same. The orbits and the galaxies are positioned in different orbits according to their strength. We call them S-ring, and the rest of it in the world of the nuclear and atomic. The universe, the unicos, has the same structure. There are galaxies, and there are gaps between the galaxies, according to the field strength they have. In what orbit in the sphere of the universe they possess. This is one of the reasons that I have said many times before. Plutonium, uranium, and the rest of the fancy atoms we consider in the matter state of the knowledge of the man is nothing compared to atomic structure of the universe. Today's nuclear physicists, we talk about so many electrons, totality of it, giving atomic number and atomic mass and everything else to it. The same applies to our universe. This is why man will find out when he becomes a traveler of the space. He needs different field energy strength to go from one layer to another, from one onion ring to another. Thank you.
There are different orbits in the cosmology of the universe. It's not so easy to cross. It's not so easy to jump from one to another. We have to use so much energy to get outside the orbit of the Earth and use so much to get into it. It's the same with the orbits of the universe. It's the same with the orbits of the matter state atomic structure. There cannot be any difference in the world of creation unless man, due to lack of his understanding, creates excuses and assumptions, the way Einstein did, to mess everything up. What is macro is in micro, and what is in micro is in macro, because they're all created through the same process. Interaction of the fields is not a Ford car or a BMW manufactured in different parts of the world. And what is this and what is that? Magnetic fields interact in the same way. Does not matter where in the universe. And then man needs to understand this and how to transmute across these lines and how to transfer within the lines. Understanding of this, and if our scientists become wise to the knowledge of the creation, the way it actually is, and not the way they imagine to make it, mankind will become a true traveler of space. Understanding how to cross these borders, how to go through this imaginary magnetic field rotation that creates and allows conditions of rotation. Why we have electron and why we have positrons and why we see galaxies behaving like positron and some behaving like electrons. Why do we see a cluster of what we call matter states in the shape of galaxies all behave collectively as a positron energy field in the center of atomic ring of the universe? Why and how mankind will understand this will allow man to break through the knowledge of the universe, to become the true traveler, how to see the structure as it is, and not make structure as he thinks it is, because then it makes him famous. It brings in the knowledge of the creation. It brings the true understanding of the process of creation. Thank you.
And this is where, as knowledge seekers, we have the responsibility to understand this, to be able to transmute, to be able to transfer, to be able to become energy without either one. Where transfer is the book number 1, when transmutation is book number 3, when the light is going from one to another. And if you understand this, and if you, knowledge seekers, bring in that breakthrough across the limitation which the present science, through fallacies of other scientists, have created in the mind of the man, then the humanity is ready to become part of the universal community. But the problem is not just for men. The whole of universe community is going through the same commotion as the man at the same time. As they are learning what you are learning, as the laundries, oh my gosh, as the man at the same time, as they are learning what you are learning, as the knowledge of creation is way across the universe. It's not the intelligence for man anymore. It's the understanding and intellectual right of the whole created things within dimension of the universe. This is why we are called universal teachers. You sit in a class, you teach a number of children in the classroom, but the other students who are sick at home, they learn on the internet. They are part of the class, which is tradition now today. So in the same with the man, the earth and the universal community. But this time we use the line of universal communication to reach the soul of the created, the student outside, where the classroom is today, here on earth. The knowledge will become so that's not exclusivity of man. That when man comes to the universal community, as I said many times before, he is equal, because man will become arrogant that the technology, the knowledge of creation, the understanding of totality comes from earth, and he sees himself above, where he has to be humble. Understanding the knowledge of creation, understanding the structure of the creation, understanding the process of interaction of the fields of the universe. It's not exclusivity of the one race, but belong to the whole of created. This way, as I said before, a new race created in another position of dimension universe doesn't need to go through the whole evolution of the time and the pain of the man, but he will educate it to the final point from the fields of the universe. That he doesn't need the school, doesn't need to kill, doesn't need to get sick, but he has the knowledge of the existence from the universe, and not from his place and position of manifestation. Thank you.
In the last Friday session, as we promised, the daughter of Mitra manifested among you in one of the sessions only, and those who felt it, they came in touch with the soul. And in that group, a few felt, and we did not say which group. In the writing, we understood they've been touched. We monitored on a physical dimension of systems. We monitor on a what we call energy system, and all matches the presence, which means the knowledge of the universe can be reaching anyone at any point, at any time of the manifestation. Shall not be the exclusivity, but it has to be understood. Inclusivity means including all the knowledge, not what suits. When we say no one will be higher at any time, when the man becomes a member of the open member of the universal community, is that the man does not become arrogant that we came. We were the people who were given the knowledge, but we actually the only few who attend the classroom. The rest are at home learning the voice, the emotion of the knowledge. In the coming weeks and months, you will understand these teachings. You understand what it means. You understand how things will take shape. In Iran, we show the manifestation of the transmutation, which means how we create structure out of nothing. As I said in the teachings many times before, with the present understanding of the technology, there is no need for aircraft hangars to build the aircraft. You create the craft from the fields of the universe, and you travel within the structure of the physicality of it. If need be, but you use the soul of the system to connect and transmute from to and back to. What this means, the new flight systems which will come into operation, and you will see the manifestation of the physicality in Iran, will come from nowhere, from the fields of the universe, convert into the matter state systems, can fly in the dimension of matter, collectively as many people as they like to travel with it, and at the point of transportation and arrival, you manifest yourself in the dimension of transmutation. Nobel Prize should be for every man for himself, in achieving to understand the process of the creation. That's noble. This is unique, and once you understand it, you have reached the ultimate goal. Understanding the process of the transmutation, understanding the process of the transfer, is the only way man will get out of this planet. And man will become the citizens of the universe. Man will reach to the position that needs nothing to be proud of, but to be part of. No superiority and no killing. And everything is moving in that direction. And it's time to reach that point. It's time to bring the whole world to see, to understand the evolution in science and the start from scratch. That the man understands there is no need to kill. No one needs to live a harsh life. No one needs to get sick. No one needs, and many other needs. As in the dimension of the universal community, every need of the Creator are met by the Creator to survive and to have all the attributes of his creation. Thank you.
I believe Mark and Dean will be talking about the conference and YouTube channels.
Mark, I'm sorry, Rick, is Dean here. So there's the Knowledge Seekers 548, and it's the suitcase and the Estefan conference. And Mark and myself were going to talk about this. Is there an extract to play first, the 548? Was that, do you have that?
I don't know of any extract. I don't think that's been listed here.
Okay.
And you have the workshop, Rick? You can start it at about minute right after the break, I think.
I'll have to download.
Okay. Okay, well, as Mr. Keshe said, he's receiving or giving a very large gift to humanity this coming Friday. This is what it's purported to be, with a new YouTube channel for scientists and knowledge seekers to learn more about this plasma creation, the plasma science, the world of the universe, and so on. So this is a new channel being launched, as I said, to help in a way, the scientific community to understand more about this process. Apparently, it's been shown in a number of locations from Fukushima up to Sanya, but yet the scientific community has not been able to, or is baffled in not fully understanding how the process is done. Even though people have used some of the Keshe Foundation knowledge to even to be awarded a Nobel Prize, as Mr. Keshe said. So this channel is about, I think, going step by step. And there'll be some videos added, what's already in the Keshe Foundation, and there'll be other videos created to supplement this, to give a general understanding of how this science works. So this is a very important gift from Mr. Keshe to humanity. He'll be giving it on his birthday, if everything works correctly, which is this coming Friday. And he's asked us to spread this worldwide and to alert people and other things that you will start seeing some of this testing of the loss of weight, perhaps of lift, and perhaps of motion. And he'll be basically going up to a certain point and then closing that and bringing that to Isfahan and showing this briefcase, which he said will open up. You can open up the briefcase and a UFO will be created right before your eyes. And of course, this UFO will have no door. So he said, you're going to have to understand the transmutation process to get into it. And once you get into it, you can control it, I believe, with your intentions and emotions. But he did indicate that we need to get away from so much killing in our lives and on this planet to be able, in a way, to move into this new dimension. I don't know what sort of cutoff there'll be, but I think the killing of other creatures is part of which is holding us back in a way, in so many ways. But we'll have to find out a little bit more as we see this conference. And of course, the conference is going to be a 2-week session, as I understand it. 1 week for Mr. Keshe will spend with the knowledge seekers, and then they'll go to a different location, perhaps a stadium or some other places, and demonstrate other technologies that the world leaders can see, scientists can see from around the world, or even technologies that the Iranian government may like to show in the public. But again, I don't think that'll be for knowledge seekers. Knowledge seekers will take the second week of the conference and, in a way, have a holiday or a tour guided by other knowledge seekers in the Keshe Foundation of some of the beauties and the interactions and the sites within Iran itself. Dean, would you like to add something to that?
Yeah,
Mark,
thank you, Mark.
I do have that video lined up if you
okay.
want me to play that, or would you like to talk first, Dean?
Yeah, it's rather long, but I think it's quite appropriate, and you can stop it whenever. People can go back and look after the break on the 548, which Mr. Keshe goes into this detail more of this channel that's coming up, which he said this is one of the biggest gifts to humanity. Maybe we haven't fully understood it yet.
Where did you want me to play it from?
I think it's right after the break. Maybe is it 53 minutes or 55 minutes, something in that line. And he goes into a couple aspects of this channel and what it'll mean for the scientific community. Yes, we saw an aspect of this in London where we saw the weight reduction. Of course, he showed it before, or the creation of gravity matching the gravity of the Earth, which gives you the lift. But then there's some other controls that you need to go side to side in different positions. So there's more to it than just the lift. But this is what is going to be shown, a weight reduction by the creation of gravity. And I think you'll be matching the Earth's gravitational field, which is almost like putting two south poles of the magnet together, you feel that push, or the two north poles of the magnet, you feel that push. This is the lift. So I think they're going to be creating some sort of gravity in a way to match the gravity of the Earth to create the lift. But then there's more to the system in controlling its forward, backward, and other position movements. But just the creation of the gravity and the reduction of weight has really never been shown before. And as Mr. Keshe said, if Newton would have discovered the magnetical field when he, in a way, was approaching the gravitational field, the advancement of humanity on this planet would have been quite different, or gone further along in the process. Dean, anything you want to say before Rick?
Rick, are you going to play the video first, or would I like me to say something?
Well, go ahead, Dean, if you'd like. Maybe it's better that way. Set it up.
Yeah, so I'd just like to add a few words. Thank you, Mark. Always very comprehensive and beautiful knowledge. So from my understanding, we have this situation where this condition, this plasmatic positioning, we have the breath, we have Mother Earth, we have the Earth, and then we have the sun that we all gaze at. And then we have, as we've known for some time, and it's going to be present, it has been present in the transmutation, is the daughter of Mitra. So we have the three, we have a combination. And we are going to be experiencing, humanity is experiencing, this interaction of the fields. So those rubbing together of the fields, those magnetic fields that interact and bring about the matter state, if you wish. If you wish to be present in an energy state, the transmutation, then you can experience this too. You just have to reach out and touch. And that touch doesn't have to be a physical touch. So the informations that were being gathered and shared, given to humanity, have all come together in this unilateral beauty that is the universal community and the universal council's soul being present along with Mr. Keshe and the creator. The knowledge of the universe coming forward to be shared and to bring about a condition of no more physical conditions that we need to experience in this moment. We can actually transmute, be in a different position. We can make materials from this position. There's no need to use the structures that we have in and around us in these very moments. This is a technology that's going to come forward. And as Mr. Keshe said, if the governments, if the world will not listen, I go for the governments. I give them the knowledge so they can share it with the citizens, which is humanity. And this knowledge is being shared, openly shared. And as Mark has explained beautifully earlier on, it's going to take position. You're going to have a spacecraft that is going to manifest itself from the fields of the universe, from a suitcase. So you can unpack a suitcase and you can have your shelter, you can have your energy, you can have your communications, you can have your transportation, you can have the agriculture, you can feed from the fields. A total package that will circumnavigate the sphere that is part of us. And then the communication system, the communication bundle, the communication of your soul interacts. This is why you have to be pure of soul, pure of thought, pure of intention to be able to enter this environment. And this is why Mr. Keshe has said many times that certain conditions will not allow a soul to pass. And so when you create a condition inside yourself with an intention, you block yourself. And this is a wonderful condition, maybe for some beings in these present moments, but all have to go through the change, the transition point. And then that eternal point is going to be present for a very long time. So what is the man fighting for when we are here present in physicality for 60, 100 years, whatever it is for you, 1 billion years, if you so wish, if you know how to transmute, you can live forever. So the knowledge is free, it's being positioned and shared for you to experience. And the knowledge seekers, the beauty of the souls that have stepped forward to experience this are going to receive on a soul level, understand it, and then learn, teach the others. So this position then changes on planet Earth. And we bring about a new condition, an existing condition, the condition that's always been present with us. And I personally, myself, I've known for a very long time. I've sensed it and felt it. And I know this time, place and position is now in this moment. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Rick. If you'd like to play the video, thank you.
And I just wanted to add, this is the first step in the creation of the elusive oasis system that was shown a number of years ago. And I know we have drawings and what it would bring or achieve, but I'm glad you mentioned, Dean, the shelter, the feeding, the traveling, the wellness, and the energy production all in one package. But this is the start of the creation of the oasis system. In a way, a fable tale, but now we're going to see it manifest in the illusion, let's say, of the matter state.
Okay, I'll play it from. Go ahead.
Sorry, Rick. I was just going to say to Mark, thank you, Mark. I was going to say, as we always say with the Universal Council, we are present. And the words spoken, the manifestation of our intentions, the knowledge that's brought forward, and then the creation point. We are, when we work with the soul within us, we are creating. And this sphere, this position, this oasis, this feeding system, whatever you want to call it, it's always been present. The knowledge is coming forward now to give us the ability to achieve this beauty within us. So we reach this position and we create in this moment. And as Mr. Keshe has been sharing, we're about to hear with this video, the beauty of the knowledge is a gift for humanity. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, I'll start playing it. I'm not sure what position we're in here, but well, you can let me know when to end as well, or if I'm in the wrong place to start. Okay, let's try.
When we set out to show the production or creation of 129 Tesla, we broke the taboo of technology to be exclusivity and for a few to see and then claim. We put the meter, as some of you still see, and many of you monitor it round the clock, see its operation. We did not go in to show what we can do. We went in to show what the science and technology has achieved. And our pattern of work has been that we have put blueprints of one way or another to show breaking through technology. We now go through a phase, as of hopefully next few days, that a combination of the Sensano and blueprints come together. Our team of scientists have worked and we have achieved a major breakthrough in where in the Sensano we showed the what we call the 129 step by step over a month or two as gradually the system built up. The knowledge and technology has reached is more or less its ultimate goal. We have set out, and it will be announced in the next few days, a YouTube channel exclusively for promotion of the new technology in space travel and space dimension, where you can, on hourly basis, daily basis, monitor how and what we put up and what can be seen. The ultimate goal in science and technology has been the conversion of energy into matter and conversion of the matter energy to lift and motion. We have managed and we have constructed the system that, as I said, will be shown in totality in Iraq, where we bring you a suitcase. We open a suitcase and we set up the scene for the suitcase to build its own dimension of physical interaction, or what you call the UFO, the spacecraft, the ship. We are testing, and we have started testing of the system. And we put certain aspects of this system on the YouTube that you can monitor. Initially, some of you saw this. We showed it in the conference in London, the ambassadorial conference in London. Some of you who attended, you saw the scale moving. Now we have brought the system into a position that we build fields in a way a system which creates its own structure, and then in a way it builds its own dimension, and then it has a dimension of creation of its own center of control, like its soul, that will create and allows an establishment, the transmutation at the same time as the transfer. This system has gone under construction, and it has started, the test has started. The last final tuning on it is getting done. And in next few hours, next few days, we'll post regularly certain aspect of this system. You will most probably be live seeing the measurements, the way we show it. We will not show the system. The system will be kept to be shown in Iraq. But you can monitor everything else. We'll start with empty space. And through this empty space, through the design of the system, as I said many times, we don't need aircraft hangars to build what we call UFOs, as you call it, the flying ships. If you have seen the size of some of these, what you call spaceships, they are the size of 20, 30, 50 football pitches. Man cannot create such a hangar to build such a thing. And the knowledge of the universe does not need aircraft hangars. This system will be shown in full power on the 16th of November in Iraq. And the week after, to the Iranian military, to the understanding of totality, inviting the world militaries to attempt to see. There'll be no superiority in power. There'll be superiority in who can bring more into the, what I call the pot of knowledge. You got to understand, we have reached a position. We'll leave you the YouTube links. You can spread it around the world. People can come and watch what weight is reduced, what weight is gained, what the structure could be seen, what fields can be detected. And we've been in the beginning of this, what we call discussion and opening to the world till the conference in Iran. We will not be flying a UFO into Iran to show you. We show you in Iran how the UFO builds in front of your eyes. Technology of the conversion of the energy into matter and interaction of the fields to create the matter, and then the condition of the totality to create position and energy at the same time. Then, as I said, it comes who can go inside. Have you learned the process of transmutation? And then you can move it. Those who kill shall not do. The soul will not allow. Most probably, it will be a club of the world leaders, will be club of the world leaders for the land they don't own, and not the king of, they're not the president of, as they cannot walk in through, that they cannot cross the line through the dimension of their own soul, as this energy soul connected. So next week, or next few days, we release on all the channels the link for this YouTube. And as much as we can, we update it to the information which we want to update. Certain videos will be put on that educates people what it is, the people who come new. And then we'll bring everything to connection for Iran conference. Every aspect of this in the process from now till the conference in Isfahan is the process of learning for our team, process of understanding the next step, process of being able to shut the shop, open it in Iran, and that'll be it. And again, open the shop in Washington, but transmute people across. Those of you who wrote to us after the Friday session that you felt the presence of Mitra, you were correct. She was amongst you. We brought her in, and we recorded the interaction as we did the year before. And through that process, you will learn the key to the next step in the universal community. And to understanding the work of the Keshe Foundation. So, please go on and keep in touch and bring other people to see around the world what we put on this channel. Is purely showing the performance. We fail, we are there. We increase, we are there. We have to change something, we are there. But we put everything on that you can see. Primarily weight reduction, primarily field interaction, primarily soul interaction, primarily creation of the fields of the matter state in a dimension of existence. This process has already started. It's not something we're going to do. we were hoping to let you know today, but through the system which is getting set up, it's delayed. Hopefully next Friday, we'll put a session in a way on a YouTube, releasing number of videos that you can see the progress in a more rapid way. That will be the gift to humanity on that day. And is for you to understand. We do not use any dynamic system. We do not use any motors. We do not use all the things which you think it might be. Evolution in technology and science of the Keshe Foundation is so advanced that we are scared even to show it in public. But in a way, we are not scared of the knowledge. We are scared of the abuse by the abusers. The dynamic systems which you are used to is in a way created by the field of the universe and not by rotational, because motors fail and we cannot fail. We have achieved the dynamic plasma condition of the universe without the matter state involving and creating rotation for it, but it's done by itself. It's a breakthrough in science and technology. And this time we'll go public with it. And we offer it to the world government, but in conjunction with the knowledge seekers, that the governing and the governed can dictate the next step for humanity. So please keep an eye on the Keshe Foundation. We try to put it on the Keshe Foundation website and pass it on for people to understand. We will use some of the teaching, we use some of the videos of the past to start teaching for those who come in to understand what is happening. And we bring in the advanced knowledge and technology we will show in Isfahan. And from there, we'll see how the governments decide the future of mankind. I can open a suitcase, build a house, close a suitcase, and move on. This is a reality which is in our hand, and we start sharing it with the knowledge seekers. And this time is a progress over the next 3 months on this channel, step by step. We close the suitcase and we show it and open it in Iran, in Isfahan, and then it's for public to see. Lift, motion, creation of energy, food, matter, the structure of the construction of the fields of the universe to create the illusion of the matter state. So please join us and at the same time support us. This is going to be extremely terrible time in many organizations trying to stop this technology to reach out. Because as one of the Chinese people told us, this is disruptive technology and we don't understand it. For you knowledge seekers, is the knowledge you gathered for years, and now is to see the fruit of it. We give you all the details in the next few days in different channels of the Keshe Foundation, in the groups, and spread it around and explain to people what it is. Because we keep it very secret, we will try not to show any part of the system. We show the effect and the results step by step, day by day. And we have started the testing, we have started the preparation of the testing, and we've decided to share this with all the knowledge seekers, this time direct, that you are prepared for the conference in Iran. And as you understood, the creation of the Matter state out of the energy leads to the creation of the soul, which that soul is part of the structure of transmutation from the gravity of light. So we complete the two sides. On one side in Iran, and secondly, next year in Washington. And hopefully it'll be the time when there'll be no race difference between amongst the men on this planet. The only race will be the race of knowledge. How much more now we understand, we can add to the knowledge of the creation and the others. Thank you very much for listening. And I hope you enjoy the trip in the next 3 months till we get to Iran.
Okay, I think that's an appropriate place to stop. Is that correct? Or should I play more?
We'd love you to play more, Rick, but I think that would be the right place to stop. I think that's wonderfully explained by Mr. Keshe, and exactly where everything is positioned to be. So thank you for playing that clip, Rick. Mark, is there anything else you'd like to say?
This is Mosfik. I would like to add a little bit to what Mr. Keshe was talking about. That suitcase. About the suitcase. The fields within the suitcase. So, yes, Keshe Foundation is bringing the suitcase for people to see how the spaceship manifests. Now, as people of this planet, we too carry suitcases. All of us are used to it, traveling from one place to another. So perhaps we want to look at our own suitcase as well. And what would that be? The fields within our suitcase. So the physical manifestation of us starts with our skin, which is an unfolding of our brain structure, which has been discussed in the Keshe Foundation quite some time back. And then we have this skin structure, which is all over the place on our body. So the skin produces certain field. And then within the skin, we have the structure of the field that is carried within the bone. And here I will emphasize within the bone. The bone is hollow. Within the strength field, powerful fields are within the bone at the center of all our limbs or the body structure. So now, if we take the central field,
Hello, Mosfik.
I think he just dropped out, Rick. I don't see him.
Yeah, he's coming back in.
Coming back. He's here, waiting for his mic to manifest.
Hello, Mosfik. We don't see your microphone yet. Oh,
sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was talking about the skin, then I introduced that within the skin, we have the bone structure. And the bone structure is our field within. The bone is a hollow structure. I mean, irrespective of where we look in the body. So within the bone, there is the high strength field. And then there is the surface, which is the skin, the environment. So interaction of the high strength field within the bone and skin starts to create additional field interaction. which creates some additional field, which, let's say, for now, the other layers of skin, the middle layer and the inner layer of the skin. And all these field interaction creates other structures within, which is the flesh and, you know, veins and etc. All these things. So the field that's within the bone structure and the field that's within the skin, two together creates a complete structure. So the specification for our creation of our hand is embedded within these two elements. And that's how a sophisticated creation such as our arm come into existence. And so this is the secret behind how complicated structures such as a spaceship can be created from certain fields, which has to be very specific. The field has the top level information of how the whole structure would look like, and then more details and details of fields within it. You know, some people maybe prefer to use the word commonly popular these days is fractal. It's not quite that. I mean, I used to play with these kind of things myself. So, but in the end, what is happening is that the whole specification for the hand or the arm that may get cut off can be reconstructed by extending the field of our skin and the bone in a proper way. And the arm may be missing, but our soul can project or create the necessary interaction to create the central field within the bone and the fields of the skin to reconstruct the whole thing. Just like a suitcase would reconstruct a spaceship from the design specification that is already available. So this is, I'm trying to connect the manifestation of the two kinds. And it's useful to look at it this way because the spaceship manifestation and our manifestation are not that different. So one is being shown in terms of technology, and one is the technology within our soul with information and energy that are already embedded in there. All we have to do is trigger it. Just like opening the suitcase triggers the process of creation of the spaceship. So these two are parallel arms of Keshe Foundation. And Mr. Keshe is busy with the physical side of spaceship manifestation. And we better get our arms straightened out. Thank you.
Thank you, Mosfeq. Beautiful knowledge shared once more, and we thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your soul and the information that you've gathered from the knowledge. Thank you, Mosfeq. Very beautiful. So I'm now going to speak a little bit, as you see on this part of the program. We have the transmutation test. So this is 2024. And it's 2-hour sessions with small groups organized by geographical positioning of participants. According to the number of participants, it can be done in 1 Friday per month or extended to 2 Fridays per month. Participants will be informed by email of their time allocation. Please make sure to mention in the comment section of the order the time zone you will be participating from. And so we're saying this is every 3rd Friday of the month from July 2024 to October 2024, and it's 2-hour sessions. in this space gap, in that moment between when the word stopped, is where the plasmatic condition is present. And we always, with our communications, with everything we do, we are busy. We are busy doing everything we can to confirm our existence, whether that is speaking, whether that is walking, whether that is looking after the cat, the dog, whether that is playing music, whatever that position is, it's confirmation we exist. The knowledge is very profound and is connecting us with the soul of man. The soul of man is connected to the creator, the creation of everything. Everything we see in the matter state and everything we sense is a creation manifestation, time, place, and position, in position by the magnetical gravitational fields that have interacted, rubbed together, and then created from an intention, maybe, a matter state sphere, planet, atom, cell, plasma, because plasma is in everything. So this transmutation test, when we come to understand the space gap, that moment when we stop and we understand that unlimited time space that doesn't really exist. However, it does on planet Earth in the fields that are manifested within the manifestation of the environment in the matter state. We're using this slow process or this very fast process, depending upon where you are on the transmutation, with no expectation of where you are present. You are going to receive some very beautiful elevation of the soul of man. And I was present in the last transmutation test, and I've been in other positions with the foundation in some of the other tests and things that Mr. Keshe has brought forward as he is gradually elevating the soul of ourselves, of myself. And then by this elevation and the knowledge that is gathered, absorbed and received, then the manifestation of the transmutation test changes position. It becomes deeper, becomes more spatially unaware. So you walk into the fields, you are present within the field of the dimension of energy. And from that perspective, from that sphere, from that plasma, from that soul condition, you can then transmute. Transmutation of the elements that are present on planet Earth, that are held in the structure of the body. And when the soul in that space gap expands out over and encompasses the physical body, then we have the manifestation of what we call a sphere. Maybe it's a spaceship, maybe it's a plasma. It's the same interaction from an atom to a universe. Mr. Keshe has explained this extensively and lovingly for a very long time. And the patience and the devotion and the beauty that he's shared is quite beyond expectations sometimes. As with all the knowledge seekers and all the universal family that are present, they know how to give unconditionally and to make it available for humanity, for the soul of man and the soul of physicality of man, which is where many of us are stuck. are in a position to elevate, to understand, to absorb the knowledge, absorb the field strength interactions, the cosmic rays, the beauty that is all around us. And then when we go into that phase, that position of the sphere within us, the wealth of the soul shines through, becomes present to be seen by the others. So the transmutation test has given us the opportunity to experience this, to learn it, and then share it with the others. And for those of you that can be present to receive this gift, there's a cost, and the cost, as we know, is €600 per session, or for a 4-session is €2,000. So it's up to you. If you want to donate your energy transfer of the financial system, remember everything's an energy transfer. So you have worked, you've created an energy by working, and you've received a financial reward. If you use that reward, that financial beauty that you've put the intention forward to, then you can share it and receive in a different way. If you wish to use that money to, as some do, to self-serve, to create conditions that that serve the physical body and the self, you receive a different energy. When you use the transmutation of the energy of the financial system by giving it to others for them to experience and to grow, to elevate, then thus by doing this, you elevate yourself. And to the power of 10 to the power of thousands, the magnification of the soul intention grows, and you receive back that energy back into yourself in the correct way, so you can serve humanity and serve yourself. Become part of universal knowledge of understanding, and then there's no middleman. The only middleman is yourself, in position in this moment. And with the knowledge that's being shared and has been shared today, in this moment, you understand that you've always had the control, the beauty in the palm of your hand, in the intention of the soul, in this time, place, and position. And it's for you to absorb your beauty and to be present in the moment. Thank you all. Thank you, Rick.
Next, we have Transmutation, which with Moshfek and Shweta, I believe. And Mark also suggested I play a video about the last transmutation session, a person's testimonial. Go ahead, Moshfek.
All right, I'll talk and then we go to the video. All right, so in the current set of the current weeks that we have been interacting with the enhancement unit, we are looking into alternate manifestation. of not just our physicality, but in other places, physicality as a human being. But what else can we do? I mean, that's not the only jacket we can wear, we can put on, but I mean, there can be other things we can do with it. And we can also look into it, other aspects of soul's capacity to manifest. One of the things that is of interest to us is the collective manifestation. Earlier, I was talking about the arm, the manifestation of the arm. And if we examine a little closer in that manifestation process, there are other souls involved, souls of the cells, souls of the organs. So as things manifest,
okay, I think MOSFET just dropped. He'll be back shortly, hopefully. Here he is.
sorry about that. The internet is dropping. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you now, Mashfaq.
So, in the manifestation of the arm, process of the arm, as I was talking earlier, there are other souls that come into operation, the souls of the cells. And we can think of aggregates of soul, various organs, the arms, various muscle structure. Let's say, since we are restricted to arm in this case, some certain muscle structure, body of group of muscles acting together as a unit. So these kind of things are examples of multiple field structures operating in unison and creating a larger scale operation, which in the end turns out to be our arm. So this is happening in the manifestation process. But behind the scene, in the manifestation process, there are fields that are coming together and operating through interaction with each other. So with that in mind, of collective operation of souls or field structures, we can go extend the capacity of our soul as well. Just like a cell, our soul is part of a larger structure. We can call it a society. We can call it one planet, one nation, one race. But the soul, our soul, or our existence of both soul of physicality and soul of man, is part of a bigger structure. Now, in this bigger structure, there are souls who have similar intention, let's say for peace and prosperity of planet Earth. They have the similar intention or field strengths within their capacity. And they would like to do it, but because of various things, they are not strong enough. But enough of us, enough soul like that, when they come together in unity, they can manifest situation in physicality and in motion, and all the various field interactions we can think of, various situations. So yes, we are talking about peace here, but peace, we have to, we don't say just the word peace when we wish. We, in addition to the word, we have to feel the peace. This is the peace we want. The children and families walking at night in safety. Example, I'm giving a very small example here. This is peace. And how does it feel to walk in complete safety when we are in the streets, anywhere on the planet? We have to feel such feelings, and such feelings have to come together in order to create the inertial field, which in the end becomes the physical manifestation of peace. So it is a process. We are starting out with our soul and testing out various types of manifestation, like healing of the body, like supplying energy so that our hunger go away. And there are many examples of it, and some of us are successful in doing it. So we are building the confidence that the soul is capable. Now that we are becoming familiar with this individual soul operating and manifesting healthy situation, we are, instead of dis-ease, we are coming to ease. The dis part is moving away. We are at ease. So the word disease is a very interesting word. We just have to learn how to focus on the word ease and ditch the this part of the word. So this is what we have to do with our dissatisfaction, with our disorders. We have to ditch the dis of all of these. Satisfaction, which is an emotion. Order, which is a physical manifestation of the fields we are creating. So this is something that is not just the intention of it, but beyond that, we have to engage the fields, feel it, and make it real. And this is the work that we can all go do together here in the form of members of Universal Council and Universal Council support team. And then through examples, we can engage those who are listening to these kind of presentation, and then bring them with us. Let's make more people in the position of ease, in the position of satisfaction, in the position of order, so that we function better. It's not that, it's no good that, just one of us learning this. When we all engage together, the creation, the energy of the creation changes. We create something much bigger. Make the planet one. That's all for today. I think I made some sense, I hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Moshrik. Thank you so much. And some few words that, yes, you may think that everything is crumbling down. This is the process of transmutation. But then we can understand about the creating, new, creation of the new, peace, love, and all that is beautiful. So, pitch the this and be the peace. So, I will say thank you, my dear Moshik. We are going all through this, and peace will be, it should be. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. And we can play the video about the testimonials. Rick, I guess.
Well, I just wanted to add in these transmutation tests that are happening. One of the main points is to keep the Keshe Foundation free for humanity, free that others can benefit in the future time. I've noticed, and sometimes when you go in these sessions, Mr. Keshe had indicated that you may receive a small gift in the physicality in a way. And this is what we've heard from Anne-Marie. Although it wasn't a full testimony from her, Mr. Keshe elaborated on it. And I know in the 547, he did make some drawings about the hand, the position of the fingers, and different things like that. And what I noticed going through these transmutation tests is I've always eaten when I'm hungry. I mean, not always. When I was a child, I was fed 3 meals a day. But as I realized, or I heard, you know, about American Red Indians, that they really eat just when they're hungry. So I sort of picked up that philosophy along the years and went along with that approach. But what I'm noticing now is that even though I'm still eating, the hunger has diminished in so many ways. It's like I've gotten a little bit more control over this eating. And again, it's not the eating, it's the reduction of the killing in our lives. So I'm just feeling that, and I made a decision that I want to absorb more pure energies from the universe, and perhaps that process is happening. I'm noticing that, and I'm not losing weight in this process at this point either. So perhaps I am absorbing more fields. I haven't reached the full level of what I'd like to, but again, that's a small gift that the soul decides to change a dimension within the dimension of physicality. And I think this is what Anne-Marie is reporting, that her fingers have actually straightened during or after one of these transmutation sessions. But mainly it's to keep Keshe Foundation free, that the scientific team can learn, that the doctors can learn for humanity, that humanity can benefit. So yes, you pay for these sessions, these transmutation sessions. But this is a beautiful short testimony. Mr. Keshe elaborates on the difference of the work of the soul bringing the change and doing it through physiotherapy or other sort of matter state interventions. I think you can go right past this, Rick, to the title, or you're there already. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Any other question?
Yes, thank you. In the webinar chat in German, we have a question from Anne-Marie, who says, "Hello, Mr. Keshe. After the last transmutation session, my fingers changed shape. The fingers are much straighter now, no longer bent over. Thank you very much."
I hope you're not going through any pain. These kind of changes sometimes comes because the body has taken a shape in a certain way, and what do you call it? Changes. If it comes through the soul, it'll be painless. If it comes through physicality, you'll suffer. If you have no pain, it means the correction is done by the soul. As simple as that. You got to understand, I've explained this many, many times before. If you have an arm which has not moved for a month, and you want to move it, it will take a lot of physiotherapy, a lot of movement gradually to get to where it is, or where it was. But When you see we do things like with Naomi, lying in bed for a month without any movement, which you lie somewhere for a week, the nerves cut, and you can get a leg moved, arm moved. You understand? It's the soul which is moving it, not the physicality, not the neural system. And once you understand this difference, then you see the change comes without the pain, comes through the soul. The change comes through the physical dimension, always carries, because physicality has to handle the changes. When you're bent for 10 years, 90 degrees, if you stand today, you break your back, you damage your leg, you damage everything else, and second, it cannot be done. But people who use our technology do. And this is the amazing thing about it, because the change comes through the soul. The water is just illusion. And we've seen this many, many times. And I cannot get people and the scientists and the doctors to understand. You have somebody bent for, we see a lot with the old age people, especially women. After the age of 70, 80, many of them, due to accident or whatever, walk bent forward. Some of them up to 80, 90 degrees bent. And when we use the technology, within a week, they walk upright. It's impossible. That cannot be done in the world of science of today. Physiotherapy and everything else which goes with it, let alone some clear water bringing such a, because when you elevate the soul, when the desire of the soul is to reach physical dimension, you feel no pain because it's already looked after. Then you understand how and the way these things are done, and how working through the soul for changing the structure of man is much easier than actually putting man through a lot of other things. We've seen that many, many times. Any other question?
That's our excerpt from the 548th Knowledge Seekers Workshop.
Beautiful, my dear Vic. So beautiful. So much hope and wishes. So much beautiful intention of people doing, understanding their own ability. Now we can go to the next presentation, my dear Vic. Welcome, Dean, my dear.
Thank you, Sweta. Sweta, I think to thank you, Sweta. I think that Andreas and Andrea will going to speak today. Is that right, Andreas? Are you present?
Yes, hello. Moshek wanted also to say something at first.
Okay, so one of the things that we can do with collective engagement of souls. Of course, we have been elevating souls of world leaders for a while, and we continue to do so. And it is very much necessary. One of the wishes that we ask for, we have done for a long time, is peace and prosperity. But there are, in order to reach that point, there are certain awareness that needs to develop. The people of the planet need to be aware of what is actually going on and feel the need to go towards peace. If they're kind of in a state where they're in a daze, in a matrix, as they call it, they don't know what peace is. They know what their terrible situation they're in. But so one of the manifestation of the wish of peace and prosperity is the difficult process. Is it difficult? No. It's the identification of the disease. That, there are many corrupt elements and criminal activities going on over the last thousands of years on this planet. Mr. Keshe once mentioned that the presence of internet is not an accident. Yes, it is not an accident. It is one of the means through which we are knowing right now. In future, yes, we may not need it because our engagement another level would make it unnecessary. At this point, as a stepping stone, it is part of the growing awareness. As you know, the situation that happened in Israel and Gaza, many countries were moved by it. Many people of many countries heard it. So that brought the awareness of the corrupt element and the inhuman treatment of souls that exist. And this is just the beginning because, Israel and Gaza happened, apparently there were two different groups of people. But you can always put a label and make the other, a certain number of people the other group. And this has been the trick, so-called the tricks in the books that have been playing, two-party system. One party is doing good, one party is not, etc. You get the picture. And similar situation is currently transpiring in Bangladesh, where I am. You create a division and then you start shooting the other part. But what is very amazing, since I'm in this environment right now, is that a strong awareness of the corruption and the criminal elements that are in operation at every level of the society. It doesn't matter, the poorest people who are, many of them are illiterate. They have the awareness now. They don't need to read any book. They don't need to read any newspaper to get it. They're getting it quicker than, in fact, those who have been through the educational system are a little more brainwashed than those who are less educated. It's a very interesting phenomenon. They're getting it quicker because the baggage that the educated people carry from the previous programming is a little heavier. But nevertheless, people are becoming aware of it. And there is a lot going on right now, but it doesn't, not all of us need to know all the detail. What we need to know is how we are progressing in the process, and then engage ourselves at the soul level to enhance the situation. Make this difficult transition of knowing how the actual situation is a bit easier. Perhaps make it shorter. These are things we can do at the soul level. And these are not things we just say. We do and we see the results. As I'm describing this thing, we can see that, yes, our wishes are great, but the physical reality is before we can get to the disease, we have to know we have a disease. So this is the part we are going through. So yes, peace is in the horizon, but we are just seeing, it's kind of like the sun is not yet up, very early in the morning, but there is some light. There is an awareness. There is an understanding of how the situation actually is. It doesn't matter which country it is, Perhaps, Israel and Bangladesh, people, countries like these are, helping in the process by engaging. Others will do it in their own unique way. I'm talking about here the leaders that we have, that we have elevated their soul, and they're exposing themselves. I mean, people are not really even trying. The situation of the injection era is another great example of something that happened across the world. The good doctors are actually deciphering what is actually going on. The information is there. There's considerable resistance for it to come out openly, but nevertheless, people are getting it. So let's be aware of what we are doing through the wishes and see its manifestation, and then take the next step and engage the soul along with those who are developing this awareness. We can connect with them, elevate their soul. And these are the people, many of them are from the younger generation. They are the future, the plasma future we talk about, the peace and prosperity that the future holds, that we dream about. Yes, they are becoming a reality. But our participation is part of that reality. I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you, Moshfik.
Moshfik? Okay.
It's
Andreas, can I say a few words if you don't mind?
yes, please.
Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. I want to add to Moshfik that really you have said it so in clarity. Thank you so much, my dear Moshfik. And I say to people, I mean, we are elevating the leaders to be in peace for eternity. But what about us? Are we not awakening anymore? What about us? What we do? An ignorant man with so much baggage that shouldn't be? It's really not a good position. So if you say you are smart, you are educated, and I don't know anything, I am not knowing anything. I am happy with my money, with my car, with my this and that. That is not acceptable anymore. Innocency can be understood, but ignorance in these times is not a bliss anymore, my dear beautiful soul. Not anymore. So understand your ability. It is us, starts from us, that we don't need these type of leaders anymore. This is the way we behaved from ancient times, A man just raised his hand, a crippled, a cruel man, unsoulful man, I will say. Hand like Hitler, like Mussolini, like Sheikh Hasina, I will say, or Narendra Modi, or whoever. Raise his hands and say, there should be a war, and people kill each other, like just in a quick position. That was what happened from ancient times, divide and rule. But don't do this again, don't accept it. So this is the knowingness you have to understand. We all have to understand. It starts from us, from within us, to understand each other, to be in the unified position of oneness, as Moshfik said, to be in the unified position of oneness, of love, peace, and light. Share love, share peace, be in peace. Don't fight each other like this. Don't kill each other. This is is not accepted anymore in the universal law. So this is what I wanted to say, my dear beautiful soul. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Moshek and Shweta. I will keep it a little bit shorter because we have already 3 hours, and I will speak just about one part. And for me, the most important thing what Moshek said is the next generation, which is already here. And if you look at teenagers, they don't care about borders. They don't care about so many things. And we can learn a lot of them when it's about detachment. And that's something what we have to reach in the sessions, or even if it's alone with the soul connection, that we detach us from all the fears and limitations where we got educated to. And we started, or we brought every time a lot of wishes from the German speaking community into this part here, the needs and wishes from our community. And we thought then, of course, we all together wish here and connect us to the wishes, but we thought we have to communicate that and do it in the German community too, that we reach other awareness. And that means that we in a German speaking workshop every week go the same way through the wishes what we have here. And the idea behind this, that we teach in our community that we all are one. And because I mentioned the detachment, there is a lot of detachment, different attachments, sorry. And a kind of attachment is, for example, religion or nationality, like Mr. Keshe explained. And through that process, and also where I tell it is, if we wish for everyone, not only for our community, then we lose the attachment of religion and nationality. And yeah, that is part of going in the direction of transmutation, because in the creation there aren't such attachments like nationality or religion or financial status. And it's beautiful to go through that process with the German community, or also what we all go through together as one humanity. And that's something what you maybe also could do in your community. And I hope I was able to explain that. And next time I will tell a few things what I actually wanted to tell, but today it's too late already. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Andreas. That's beautifully you said. Thank you so much. My dear Rick, can we go to the next presentation?
Rick, do you want to ask? There is a hand up in the attendees. I don't know if it's inadvertent,
Exactly.
but they want to bring something.
Yes, I wanted to address that. Farah, would you like to go ahead? Did you have a question or comment you'd like to make? Or was it an inadvertent hand up? Vera, can you speak or do you need to? Well, we're not getting a response there, so I guess we're okay in that regard.
Thank you.
Rick, it's Dean
Can
here.
we go to the
Sweater, before you go to the next slide, can I just very quickly,
Yes,
I will be very, very quick, very brief. So I've noticed a situation where the soul of a representation of a position in England has decided to withdraw some funds that would make a comfortable situation for the souls present in England to receive some energy that would keep them warm in the winter. And I really wish that to elevate the souls so that they come to understand that they can receive this energy, this heat within them when they touch their soul, so they don't need this this energy transfer that's been withdrawn. They can receive this knowledge, this wisdom, this fuel that they require so that they can keep warm. And I would like this to make this for a worldwide thing. So if you are in a position where you're very hot and you have a bikini on or something, then you can receive to be cold, and you can receive the balance that you need. And so that all souls are comfortable in all positions that they may take. And I wish it to be the beauty for each and every soul present. Thank you, Sweater. Sorry, I kept that as quick as I could. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. So beautiful. Thank you. Now we can go to the next presentation. Here comes, as we are here to serve, not to be served, my dear beautiful soul. Play, live in love, not in war and conflict anymore. If you live in peace, we live in peace. Everybody is living in peace. So this is what I want to say. And also I want to say happy birthday to my Master Shriman Mehran Keshe. And I want to say happiest birthday, my dear Mehran Keshe. And I will say it in Hindi, my national language, as I am UC Hindi language from India. So I will say in Hindi that आपको मेरे मसीहा मेरे बहुत ही प्रिय, हृदय से भी ज्यादा प्रिय मेहरान जी, आपको आपका जन्मदिन बहुत बहुत मुबारक। आप हमारे बीच में आए, साक्षात किया, हम जैसे जी गए, और आप हमेशा हमारे साथ रही। और आपको हृदय से मैं बहुत सारा प्यार, अभिनंदन और शुभकामनाएं देती हूँ कि आपको हमेशा हमेशा आपको खुश रखे, आप खुश रहें। और मैं ये भी कहती हूँ कि आप जिए हजारों साल, और साल के दिन हो 50,000। आपके चरणों में हजारों फूल समर्पित, हमारे आपने हमें अपने चरणों में जगह दी, ये हमारे लिए अद्भुत के अलावा मैं और क्या कह सकती हूँ। आपने, तो मैं यही कहूंगी, आपको प्रणाम, शाश्वत प्रणाम, सलाम अलैकुम, नमस्ते। चलिए, हम सबको बहुत सारा प्यार देने के लिए, और हमारा सबका प्यार आपके लिए, हम सब आपके हृदय में बसते हैं। शुक्रिया। So we all live in his heart, and he has given all the love always, and we lived forever. So thank you for listening. And
Shweta?
Yes.
Hello. Thank you. I have a suggestion. Mr. Keshe's birthday is 2nd of August, yes? Okay. My suggestion is when
Thursday is the 1st of August, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
His birthday is the 2nd.
Yes. Okay, thank you. When they finish August 1st at midnight, exactly start 2nd August. Please elevate your soul, unify your soul with the Mr. Keshe souls for successful the all wishes, Mr. Keshe. Thank you during the new year, physical year, in that please. Thank you so much, because we are the soul of the peace. Thank you, thank you.
Yes, my dear, we are the soul of peace. Oh, beautiful. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. So join this beautiful energy. Beautiful, beautiful. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Swagatam to the beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship organization. Welcome, welcome to the beautiful, beautiful energy of all souls in existence, as we are all becoming universal. Welcome, welcome to all that is love. And join, follow, jump in, join Keshe Foundation. Feel the love, feel the knowledge of the universal creator. So thank you so much. This is Universal Council, Shweta Anwar, and thank you again. Welcome. Salam, namaste, salute.
Happy birthday, Mr. Keshe. Thank you, Shweta.
Okay, well, thank you, Shweta, Dean, and others of the members of the Universal Council and support members for today's presentation. This has been the 337th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, July 30th, 2024. Okay, our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, and it starts tomorrow, Wednesday, July 31st, starting at 7 a.m. Central European Time, and that's open to all members of the public, young and old, and newcomers and old-timers to the plasma technology. We work with more of the practical side of implementing the technology as provided by Mr. Keshe and others. Okay, and I think that's it, other than we'll go out with our usual flight enhancement.
What about some
Spaceship unit music version.
What about some clap and music version? Clap,
Yes,
clap,
indeed.
and be enjoy, my dear beautiful soul. Thank you, my dear. Be enjoy.
Okay, thanks everyone, and bye for now, and thank you for being here.